Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello and welcome back to the internet's #1 smoke sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I miss you guys so much. Thank you for giving me a week off. I genuinely was dying. It was not pretty, not cute. If I would have gotten on this podcast, it would have been a hot fucking mess, but not like in a cute or sexy way, very much so in a seek help kind of way. I talked about the week prior how I was kind of having like a little bit of like an illness, a little bit of sickness, and yeah, it didn't really go away. In fact, it started getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So finally I was like, okay, fuck it, I pay so much for my health insurance, I'm getting my ass to urgent care ASAP. I thought I had strep, so that's what I went in for. I was like, listen, test me for strep. Let's get this shit figured out. They're like, yeah, no, looks like strep. Here's your antibiotics. Go to the doctor, pick them up. You'll be fine. Well, I get on the antibiotics. I give it like 3 days. It's Sunday. The next day I have to film. And I'm like, well, I still don't feel better. Something's definitely wrong with me. Like I'm snotty. I'm feverish, I'm coughing up like disgusting mucus, hot mess. So I go to the urgent care again. Yes, again, because I'm like, antibiotics aren't doing it. We got to get something else. Guess what? Test positive for the flu. I had strep throat and the flu at the same exact time. Your girl was on Tamiflu, antibiotics, cough syrup, guafenicin, as many medications that I could get my fucking hands on in order to feel better. And finally, last Friday was the first day that I was like, okay, I'm feeling slightly normal. Like finally, I feel like I'm getting better. But it was a full like 2-3 weeks of me being sick and unsure of what's happening. And listen, I've had the flu before. I don't know what fucking flu is going on right now, but it is the worst flu I've ever had in my entire life. Now, it wasn't like the vomiting flu. Thank God. I would rather deal with body aches, chills, snot dripping out of my face constantly than vomit. So thank God for that. Universe really pulled through on that side. But I did really just need, Monday is when I went to the urgent care for the second time. And yeah, you did not want me to be here. So I appreciate just like having a community that like understands people being people and needing a break. I'm so glad that we've been able to garner that kind of understanding and appreciation in this community. So thank you endlessly for the days off that I do occasionally ask for being understanding and wanting me to get better. It genuinely means so much. Yeah, this is gonna be a good week. It's finally warming up. We had like a blizzard last week, which was fucking insane. This week, finally, it's like 60 degrees and sunny. I have this beautiful bright tree outside of my house, and I can see the little tiny buds starting to get bigger and the leaves slowly starting to form. And ooh, like it literally makes my pussy wet. I'm like, all right, spring, thank God. I cannot wait. Like winter was just so long for me and like so grueling, and I'm so tired of being inside. It's like I will go sit in the sunshine for an hour, 2 hours, please. Like I'm begging. It's really what my brain needs at this time. So I hope you're feeling the renewed energy. If you are out and about in public, mask up. Wash your fucking hands. If the amount of grown adults that I am seeing walking around like children coughing into other people's faces, coughing, are you kidding me? Out into the open air. Whatever happened to being a decent human being and doing the cough into the arm? What happened to that? I'm pretty sure I know exactly where I got sick because I was hosting at my restaurant the week before, and I had like a grown ass fucking woman come into the restaurant and open mouth cough into my face and go, two, bitch, fuck you. I'm not getting you a table. No, 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 not with that fucking attitude. Not with whatever the hell is going on here. I am not doing that. But my God, please take care of yourselves. And by taking care of yourself, take care of the people around you. All right. All right. That's really all I have to catch you guys up on. Haven't been doing much planning for some big exciting things, which I finally got the A-OK to tease here. So we're going to talk about it in a second, but Danger has a surgery on Wednesday. Please, if you could do a small prayer that everything goes good. It's not a severe surgery. They're just going to kind of flush everything out with antibiotics since the pill form of antibiotics don't seem to be working. And I really, really do think this is going to help the situation, considering I have been to the vet 8 times in the past 3 months to kind of heal this ailment that he's randomly going through. But please, if you could do just like a big group prayer for Danger, I would really, really appreciate that. Keep him in your thoughts for Wednesday. I think it'll go good. This is the first time he has ever been sedated, though, in his 12 years of life. So this will be interesting. I took the day off. I'm going to watch over him, make sure everything's good. And yeah, I really hope this is kind of the last step in this process that we have to go through and that everything will be back to normal. He's such a strong little boy, though, and I love him endlessly. My Shayla, he's so sweet. But okay, listen, I have spent the past... actually, probably the past 9 months, literally, I have been carrying this child, this project, in my womb for 9 months now. It is something that I have worked long and hard to make for you guys, and it is also a dream collab of the century. Like I genuinely, when I thought this, I never thought I would be able to do something like this, which is so fucking exciting. And it has taken everything in me to not spill the beans to all of you guys here every single week that I show up. But I had the amazing, wonderful opportunity to collab with one of my favorite brands, specifically a brand that makes pieces. I talk about them a lot. I am a huge fan of everything they put out. It is all genuinely so like artisanal, and they put so much thought and care into what they create, and I really, really saw this going forward with working together. But Canna Style reached out to me about 9-10 months ago and was like, hey, we would love to create something with you. Like, we would love to do a Hannah Marlene collab situation. And I really love working with companies, but especially as an influencer, a lot of companies are like, all right, we're collabing, but also like, here are the rules. This is what you're going to follow. And like, hey, I got no problem with that. Like, if it's your brand, your design, your ideas, you do have that initiative. You do have that power to be able to kind of control things a little bit more. What really called to me in this situation is they reached out to me and they didn't have any rules. There was no rules. It was genuinely like two artists coming together to create something. They were like, whatever your mind calls to, whatever ideas you have, we want to make. So I had a couple iterations, a couple ideas, and they were like, well, do you want a pipe? And I was like, well, a pipe would be really cute, but like, I'm an authentic bitch, and I'm not going to sit up here and try and sell you guys a pipe or make a pipe when pipes, you guys know me, pipes are like one of my least favorite things to smoke out of. I mean, when it comes to it and you need a quick hit, absolutely. In high school, loved pipes. But nowadays, where I'm like, okay, a little bit of luxury, taking care of my lungs, like, I like a little bit of water involved, I like a bong, I like a bubbler, something like that. So pipes are out of the question. And so I was like, okay, well, let's go something like a little more like water piece. They were like, do you want to make a rig? Do you want to make like a giant bong? Like, what are you looking for? And finally, we came to the understanding that we would make something fairy-esque. So if you are on the video portion, if you're listening on Spotify, it's already on the video portion, check it out. If you're on YouTube, I'm finally, oh my God, literally, like, this is so exciting. I'm finally going to show you guys what we've been creating. So essentially, they were like, well, let's just make you as a fairy that everybody can smoke out of. Are you seeing this? If you're an audio listener, I'll describe it to you right now. So we have 2 iterations coming out of these beautiful bongs. They're about 6 inches tall. And I really wanted to create a piece where it's like, when it's sitting out, it's not just a bong. Like, this is a piece of art. Are you kidding me? The detailings, you can see the details in the face, in the hair, in the titties, in the wings. Oh my goodness. But it is such a beautiful kneeling fairy piece. The one that I'm holding here is a iridescent blue teal, but we are also coming out with an iteration that is iridescent pink. Of course, you guys know I love my pink, but are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is art. This is genuinely an art piece, and this is something that I have never seen before. That was a main goal of mine, is I really wanted to create something that literally no one else has made, no one else has thought of. Because I had a couple ideas, like maybe something crystally, and I love their artistic direction, because they were like, well, we've seen a couple people do something similar, and like, we don't ever want to copy or even come close to copying. Like, we want to do something original. And bitch, Hannah Marlene original. It does not get more original than this. Are you fucking kidding me? So she's kneeling, and then what I really wanted was for her to be holding the bowl piece. So in her lap is basically where you load the flower and then smoke out of. Ah, bitch. Are you, like, I have never done anything this cool in my entire life. And to be fair, all props goes to Canna Style. Like, they are the ones who were able to put this into production, like create the 3D model and work with the glass company to hand create these. Like, I am just sitting here happy to be involved, but shout out to Canna Style. Oh my goodness. So let's go over the details. These will be available next week, Friday, the 21st. The spring equinox is the day before, so I wanted to kind of have these as like celebration of spring. Are you kidding me? What a better way to celebrate the season than literally smoking out of a fairy. Literally smoking out of me. That's why when I teased it, I was like, if you want to smoke with me, stay tuned, because literally you can smoke out of my body. Are you fucking kidding me? These are beautiful pieces. I thought maybe it'd be a little difficult to clean, but there's so much space inside, and they're not fragile. Like, these pieces are very thick, high quality glass. Like, the details are there. You know, the cleaning is going to be the same process you would do with any sort of average bong. Like, you don't have to be super careful. It's very steady. The base is solid, so there is no, like, you know, tilting or leaning. Also with this piece on the back, when you do light it, which of course I will smoke out of it here in a second, when you do light it, it's far away enough from your face, because if you are a girl like me with bangs, you know the troubles of like, oh fuck, my hair's gonna catch on fire. This is like the perfect spatial distance to really make sure that, you know, this is just an overall well-rounded, amazing fucking piece. Also, pricing wise, I'm sure that's your next question. I have spent quite a bit of money on pieces in my lifetime. I remember going to a store, just like a smoke shop, and I was like, all right, well, let me pick up, you know, my first ever big girl piece. I'm moving into my first ever apartment. Let me pick up my first ever big girl piece. When you go to these local shops, they upcharge so much. I remember spending like $250 on a bong and thinking that's normal. That is not normal. That is not normal at all. bongs should not cost $250 unless you're buying them directly hand blown from the artist themselves. Like I'm talking like small company, handmade just for you. So when it came to pricing, I really wanted to find something in the middle. I didn't want to do anything over $100. I felt like, that was just crazy for me to ask. And also, with their pricing, this is actually on the lower range for some of their designer, more luxury pieces. This is retailing for $89. And for the quality and the construction and the price and just like the company that you're supporting and also supporting me, I feel like that is a great deal. Genuinely, I don't think I can walk into any of the local Kansas City stores that do sell pieces and get anything like this for $89 at all. So I was really happy with that price. It was a price range that, I felt comfortable with, and I felt like, for the design and the style and the artistry of it all, it felt worth it. Because listen, I'm not here to take advantage of your money. I'm not here to take advantage of the situation. Like, I want you guys to be able to sit here and smoke with me every single week. Are you kidding? How fucking exciting. And can you imagine this in iridescent pink as well? When I do drop it, we will have full photos and beautiful announcement on my Instagram and theirs. So please stay tuned. If you want to see the pink version, that will be uploaded there. We're getting photos done right now. But I finally got the okay to go ahead and tease it, so I wanted to do so early. So if you guys wanted to maybe game plan a little bit or really think it over, it wasn't like a last minute, hey, we're dropping this. It's like, okay, because I'm such a planner. It's like, well, when is my paycheck getting in? Where can I budget? What can I do? And I know that's how I function, and I'm sure a lot of you guys function as well. But yes, if you guys want to support me, I do not do a lot of drops or sales or merch. I'm not here to grift for your money. The things that I do work on, I am so passionate about, and genuinely I put so much thought and time and care into. And this is one of the pieces where it's like, wow, this is like an artist's dream to be able to collab and to create something just genuinely so beautiful. So if you would like to support, if you would like to literally smoke out of me, fairy vibes it up, spring vibes it up, this is the piece for you. Canna Style, thank you so much. But please set your alarms for March 21st, the day after the spring equinox. We're celebrating with this beautiful drop. Also follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. I will have all the links and the announcements as soon as it is available. But yes, 2 weeks from now, I am so fucking excited. But with that being said, let's smoke her out. All right, this is her with the bowl piece in, so you can see it's like she's holding it. All right, look at the details. You can see her feet on the back. Bitch, no one is creating pieces like this. Are you kidding me? Anyways, cheers, girlies. I have not smoked in 2 weeks because I've been so sick, like with my strep, girl. Weed smoke plus strep does not work. This is my first bowl that I've smoked in 2 weeks, so it's gonna get a little silly around here. Cheers. Oh my god, did you hear that? She pulls so clean and pretty. You guys, dream come true. Please support me, support Canna Style, women-owned business, incredible creative team. Wow, 10 out of 10. All right, since I was gone last week, we're gonna kind of do like a question roulette style this week, where I'm just gonna try and get through as many questions as possible because I know you got a lot on your mind. Someone says, starting my first big girl office job soon, and advice for navigating adult environments. Honestly, I feel like it can go either one of two directions when it comes to adult environments. Most adult environments, honestly, I really enjoy because there's no bullshit. It is straightforward, like honest communication, maybe a little too honest, but also I appreciate the feedback, you know what I mean? You kind of escape that high school drama-esque situation, which I kind of think you find in the service industry, kind of restaurants, things like that, coffee shops. I'm sure there's a little bit of that. maybe even retail. But getting into an office space, I think with such a set 9 to 5 salary vibe, it's like I'm just showing up, doing my shit, getting out of here. And honestly, when it comes to a job, couldn't ask for more. Could not ask for more. When it gets dramified and annoying in that sort of situation, it's like, I don't even want to show up. And you should never have like emotions get in the way of your money, especially other people's emotions. So I think you will really enjoy the adult office environment, but with that lack of emotion in the adult office environment, you do kind of have to adjust in that sort of way where it's like, take your job seriously, but not so seriously where it's affecting you outside of work. Because I guarantee those 40, 50-year-olds you're working with, they are hitting that clock out button, and like Severance, they're coming back into the real world and they don't give a fuck about what's going on at work. Honestly, that is the way to approach it, especially an office job. I hope you enjoy your job. I hope that's, kind of a driving factor and really nice in what gets you actually into work as well as the money. If you can navigate and find like a adult office situation X actually enjoying it and doing something that you like love, that is the dream. But also if it's just something that pays, like, don't let that get you down. Get in there, get that money, get that rent paid, because as soon as you clock out, like the 40 and 50-year-olds, you can get back into the real world, do all of your hobbies, experience the life you want to experience. And I think there's the stability of all that is really enticing and really nice. So props to you, first of all. But yes, emotions are one thing. Don't get emotions involved in work. Don't get involved in work drama. If there is any, be nice, be kind, show up with a smile. But most importantly, like, you're there to do your work. And hopefully everybody else around you is also on that same kind of vibe. When it comes to criticism, though, I do find in adult office environments, you do receive more constructive criticism because, like, the people actually care about you and care about the work that's going on. So be open to constructive criticism, even if it's coming out of left field and your kind of like ego side is like feeling triggered in that sort of way, like, well, why the fuck are they telling me that? Don't let that overtake you, because genuinely there's always something to learn. And like I said, when you get emotions involved, you kind of lose that opportunity to actually grow and change, and honestly maybe just have an easier time with what you're doing. So keep that in mind as well. Listen, I have always received constructive criticism, whether it's from my Gemini parents, both two Gemini parents, yes, constructive criticism was constant. Or the fact that I was put in any sort of competition possible, whether it was soccer, piano, art, like, I was constantly being judged. The sooner you learn to like remove your emotions from it and just kind of be like, okay, cool, I'll learn from this, the easier time you'll have. I think that's why I had such an easy time in art school and just generally in the workforce, because it's like, I don't care if I fuck up. Ultimately, at some point, you're the new person. They're going to give you advice. And if you don't take it, you're going to have a harder time than if you just put that ego aside and you're like, you know what? True. Thanks. Move forward. Anyways, everybody watching Severance, oh my God. If you need good shows to watch right now, Severance, of course. Everybody was hating on Miss Cobell's episode, but ultimately I think she is my favorite character. People crave, they're like, please, we need a more dramatic woman. And then all of a sudden you get one and they're like, this is boring. Bitch, sorry you can't pick up on it. Anyways, that White Lotus, pretty good season so far. First 2 seasons, amaze. Can't wait to see where this one goes. Always just like drama, and I love rich people drama because I'm so disconnected from it. It doesn't trigger any anxiety. It's genuinely like, wow, that's crazy. Me and my friends also went and saw Mickey 17 on Thursday. Okay, cinema is back, and I really hate they're making me like Robert Pattinson, but he killed that role. He ate it up. If you need kind of like a silly, not really serious, just genuinely fun watch, sci-fi-esque, highly recommend going and seeing. Also, if you're not going to the movie theaters, you need to go to the movie theaters more. Me and my friends, our favorite activity is literally eating an edible, getting Mexican food, and then going to the movie theaters. There has been many a times where we go to the movie theaters all day. We see like 2 or 3 movies. It is so nice, especially if you're the kind of girl who's like, I need to escape reality healthily. this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. You'll walk out of that cinema into a whole new world. Fantastic. Also, what's better than buttered popcorn? I went to my parents' house for dinner last night and they were like, oh, we saw the best movie ever. What was it called? Amelia Perez. I said, oh no. Oh no. That was crazy. Coming out of my parents' mouth, I was like, what? You guys saw that movie and also loved it? That's wild. I still have yet to see it, so I can't be a full, like, critic, let's be real. But also, just the amount of crazy things I heard from it and the general hate from a public sense had me feeling like maybe not the best movie of the year. So this is the first person I've heard say that, honestly. But yeah, I need to get into more movies. Media-wise, also, I've been listening to a lot of jazz music. My Spotify Wrapped is going to be fucked up because it's just going to be like slow jazz from an NYC bar played for 48 hours consecutively. Like, that is all I listen to. I realized that my cat really likes it, and if I leave him home alone, he really enjoys having jazz music on in the background. I think it really calms his anxiety, mostly because when we lived with my parents, my mom had NPR on in the kitchen 24/7, and NPR gives jazz music aesthetic. So I've been playing a lot of that, and it's calmed his anxiety, but also mine. I've been like, oh my God, actually listening to jazz music 24/7 on like small, just a little bit of volume does have the same effect as like Lexapro for me. Great thing to have around you at all times, for sure. How do I stop feeling cringe and overthinking all my mannerisms? Me as fuck. If you're a girl who lives in their head, you will fully understand this, because I feel like also our head is doubles as a prison cell sometimes. And it's like, girl, maybe we don't need to be thinking about ourselves this much. Maybe we don't need to be overanalyzing everything so much. I blame AP English class for making me read into every single little detail of every single thing constantly and then writing 12-page essays over it for the reason that I think about what I think about. I'm not saying disconnect yourself from the details of it all. I think what makes life special is the details. But if you get too caught up on the details, you start to miss real life. It is a very fine balance, honestly. You sitting here overthinking yourself, not necessary. Overthinking maybe the little things, planning, moving forward, growing, developing, being able to see the sunshine shine through a leaf and looking for those details and finding joy in that sort of way in your daily life. Important. Seeing God in your coffee cup in the morning, important. Staring and counting each individual pore on your face or the way you messed up your words when speaking to somebody, not important. It's like a pros and cons list. And the best way to really handle this is to kind of catch yourself in the act. You do kind of have to catch yourself in the act and put yourself in timeout for a second. Like, girl, no. Because we're going to find ourselves falling down that, thought process spiral every once in a while. And that's okay. We're all human. It's impossible to get rid of that thought process completely from your head. But if you can catch yourself in the moment, and instead of doing that shameful thing where you're like verbally shaming yourself and then you kind of fall deeper in the spiral and you're just like, no, pause, redirect like you would a small child, it makes life much, much easier, okay? Shame doesn't get you a lot of places. Actually, dare I say, gets you nowhere. So you might as well be kind and patient, with yourself. I had someone on the Patreon episode kind of ask about, like, how do I stop thinking so much about, like, my body and overanalyzing myself and just how I look. And there is a quote that genuinely changed my life, and it was, I forgot where I saw it, but it was like, we were only meant to see our faces in a clear stream of water. We were not meant to perceive or look at ourselves this much ever, maybe in a very shiny piece of rock, Like, we were not really supposed to know what we look like. So the fact that we see ourselves so much, of course we're going to overanalyze ourselves. Of course, it's going to naturally come with negative sort of behaviors. But also, you don't have to be like a victim to that. You don't have to keep doing it, keep feeding into the self-destructive behavior. Free yourself. You deserve it. Any tips for period cramps? Ibuprofen or whatever, general pain reliever of your choice. I also am a massive, massive fucking fan of those sticky heating patches. You can get them online. They're basically like flat hand warmers if you think about them in that sort of sense, but they have a sticky side, so you stick them basically on top of your uterus, and then they also make them scented, and I get the lavender scent. Oh wow, fully sedates my uterus. If you are also the kind of person who gets severe period cramps, but you have to work on your feet, you have to be up and moving, these are even better, because if you sit in a chair, you can use a regular cheap like heating pack, like a sack full of rice that you put in the microwave. Like, that's easy. I also use that a lot. But if you're like, oh fuck, I have to go serve an 8-hour shift on my feet, no breaks, maybe one restroom break if I'm lucky, put in a Super Plus tampon, put that on top. You will be good. I promise. I also utilize this for my IUD placement, and life-changing. But tips to stay motivated in a shitty but temporary situation. Love you, Hannah. You can't forget about the light at the end of the tunnel. You can't. You really can't. You got to keep moving towards it. You got to remember, even if the light is far away, who knows how far away it is, it's just down there. It's there. It's there. All right? It's there. Don't dim that light of hope for yourself. It's very easy to do so when you're like, oh my God, why have I been sick for 2 weeks? Like, what's going on? Or I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be in life. Or, oh my gosh, what if I'm not growing at the right pace? Whatever kind of anxieties that you have about your life, like, it's very easy for them to overcome you, because negative emotions are kind of obviously more powerful than positive emotions. I mean, positive emotions are great, but the negative ones do have a special way of overtaking people. You can't let it overtake you. You can't give it that power. You can sit down and be like, this fucking sucks. This is shitty. I'm going to cry for just like a second, but also I'm going to detach. I'm going to let that go. I am not going to be stuck here in this place. I'm going to let that negative emotion go, keep moving towards the light. If I can't identify it, that's okay. At least it's there. I can see it. I can understand that it will be here eventually.
Hey, Hannah. Absolutely love you in the pod. Your advice on the podcast actually helped give me the strength to lead my 3-year relationship, and I'm 21 now. Essentially, before the relationship, I wanted to get out of my hometown, go to college, travel, do fun things, and I still want to do all of those things now that I'm out of the relationship, but I guess it just feels like those years my peers have been advancing and I have stayed stagnant. I'm essentially starting my life over again by myself and finding out who I am, and I just feel like I wasted so much time and I'm so behind, and it can be really discouraging and overwhelming. Like, I finally woke up one day and I'm no longer 18, but I'm in my 20s, and while everyone else is already graduating and have already started figuring out who they are, I haven't even started. So yeah, any advice would be appreciated. Love you.
First of all, you are so smart. I'm so brave for taking that big step and getting out of a place that you don't want to be and realizing where you want to go. It is not too late. 21, you're still a baby. You are. I know 21, because you're thinking like 18 to 21. 18 felt so young. Everybody was starting maybe college. Maybe you didn't do so. And now you're 21 and you find yourself kind of re-waking up, kind of still in that 18-year-old mindset where it's like, I've stayed in one place for 3 years and I feel like I haven't grown based on how I'm comparing myself to others, or maybe the standard way that society wants us to grow. But you have grown. You have grown. You have grown in different ways that maybe, you didn't really think of, whether it's relationship wise, understanding yourself more in relation to the world around you. Maybe you've been working an adult job where these people haven't been, they've been in school. You have grown in a different direction than other people. It doesn't mean you haven't grown at all. Like, you're here and they're here. You're both growing, just different ways. And that's okay. I think it's also important that you had this realization young. You are young. Your adult years aren't behind you. 21 is still very much so like you're a baby. Everybody is a baby deer walking around learning to use their legs. No matter how you're perceiving them or seeing other people's accomplishments, everybody has that in common. So if you want to get somewhere, do it. Better do it now than at 30, 40, 50. And if you are at 30, 40, 50, who cares? If you want to change your life, you want to go in a different direction, do it. There's nothing stopping you, especially now that you've left this toxic relationship, that you want to do more. The comparison is what's going to kill you. The comparison is what's going to keep you at this place, succumb to, well, I can't do it, or I don't want to, or I'm not at this place I shouldn't be. Yeah. You are not, but that doesn't mean you can't get there eventually. If you want to be the girl who goes off and goes to college and does her 4 years and gets her degree, you can be that girl if you start right now. If you want to be the girl who goes and, is able to travel to these beautiful places, get that job, work hard, save your money, book the ticket. Go do it. There's nothing stopping you other than this comparison mindset that you have in your brain. And I don't think necessarily comparison is going to kill people. I think comparison can be healthy if you use it as inspiration. Someone else's success does not demean your own. Ever. You are never in side-by-side competition with anybody else other than if you're in a literal foot race. Like, bitch, do you run track? Cool. Then yes, you're competing against each other. But in the real world, when it comes to people's accomplishments, their life achievements, where they are growing in life, there is no race, okay? Comparison should only provide inspiration. If you see those people and you feel jealous, ask yourself, do I feel jealous because I don't have that and I want that? Cool. Let me become her. Let me use her achievements as inspiration. Let me use my peers as a way to kind of goal set and achieve things and drive myself, instead of driving yourself down to the ground, driving yourself forward. You're young. You still have energy. Utilize the energy out of your breakup and this desire to become a new person, to achieve new things, to really push forward. Use the breakup bucket list as a way to kind of build individuality. Set those goals and get the fuck out there. You are smart. You are articulate. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders and, a deep understanding of the world around you, but don't hold yourself back. Utilize those. Grow, achieve. If anybody's going to do it, it's the Smoke Sesh girls. It's you. Please. Any 21-year-old out there who feels like they're too old or they missed out, this is a symptom of society. This is a symptom of comparison. Comparison is going to kill you. The only person you should compare yourself to is your past self, your 18-year-old self. You were in a relationship that didn't help you. Guess what? You now have the power and understanding of being strong and getting yourself out of a situation you didn't want to be in. That is amazing. You have changed. You have grown. You're just comparing yourself in the wrong direction. 18-year-old you versus 21-year-old you. You're not stagnant. You have grown. Celebrate those successes. Find them. Look for them. Have gratitude. Set those goals. See that light at the end of the tunnel. Go after it. No one's going to do it but you. Vibes for spring. Love you. Love you. Oh, for spring. I've been doing a lot of spring mood boarding recently. That reminds me, I do need to make a complete mood board, which I will be sharing on my Patreon, patreon.com/smoke/shoddy if you want to support. Oh, PSA. Like I said, I care about your guys' money. I'm not going to be just, I don't know, begging for it or like stealing your money, charging you crazy prices. But that being said, I lowered my prices at the beginning of the year for good reason. Okay, like save some money, cheap subscription, come support. Everything's under $10. Love that. Okay. But companies are a greedy motherfucker. And I'm not talking about Patreon here. I'm talking about Apple. Apple. What the actual fuck? I had someone message me and was like, hey girl, like I downloaded the Patreon app and I went to subscribe. And I know you said you lowered prices, but these prices aren't like matching the prices that you listed online. And I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. Let me look into it. What the fuck is an Apple surge price? Girl, this is not trying to get a 2 a.m. Uber. What the fuck is an Apple surge price? For every app, every single app in the App Store, if you purchase something through the App Store, they automatically charge you 30% more than what the actual price is on the website. Bitch, what the fuck? If you are already subscribed to the Patreon, you don't have to worry about this. If you subscribe to that certain price, it's grandfathered in. It won't change for you. But if you're like, hey, I'm thinking about joining the Patreon, why are the prices different? It's because Apple's charging a 30% increase. And best believe I figured out a way around it. Are you ready? You just type in patreon.com/smoke/shoddy. You subscribe online at the online price, download the app, log in, boom. Don't let Apple steal your money. I don't want Apple to steal your money, and I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do, so I figured I'd make you all aware. If you have thought about joining the Patreon, which please come do, I did lower prices. I think they're $4, $7, and $9. Very cheap. Cheapest Patreon that I have seen, honestly, anywhere. And I subscribe to a few, and they're pretty much like $10 a month for the middle tier, which I have no problem paying. I do really enjoy supporting creators. I follow Swoon. Her Patreon's fantastic. And then Apple gets greedy as fuck. 30%. 30%. What the fuck? So it's so easy. Literally, the move around is so easy. You just go online, you subscribe there, you purchase it through there at the online price. And then you can download it from the App Store and log right in, and bam. Ugh, that was a crazy discovery this weekend. But that being said, ramble over. I will make a mood board. I will share it with everybody. And yeah, let's see what I have saved for. Ooh, I want to make fresh bread. I need to make some fresh bread. That's one of my goals. I want to learn how to make fresh bread. I hate sourdough. That's my problem. I wish I liked sourdough. I went up for communion. And listen, my church was a real one because for communion, they had Hawaiian loaves. Yes, that good bread. And Welch's grape juice. Are you kidding me? Best communion ever. Not those dry ass crackers the Catholics give you in the actual wine where you're like 5 and you're like, ugh, this is painful. No, I'm like, can I have more? Can I please have more? They switched it randomly one time and fed me sourdough. Going from sweet Hawaiian rolls to sourdough as a small child is a jump scare. I vomited. I vomited up the body of Christ. May Christ compel you. That's crazy to me. Anyways, my brain is systematically traumatized from that experience. And now I can't stand sourdough. So all the farm to table girlies who are making sourdough, I love you. That's amazing. Like, yes, support microorganisms. Like, we love that. It's like a colony. It's like a living, breathing thing. That's so cool. But I can't eat it. I can't. I really can't. That chocolate chip Oreo sourdough loaf you made looks amazing, but I know it's going to taste like spoiled milk. It's a problem of mine. So I want to learn how to make normal, just like white bread. And like, I want to start a garden. I finally emailed like my local community garden up the street, and I was like, hey, do you guys have any plots available? She's like, yeah, girl, $25 for the season. They got a free spigot. It's a 4x8 plot. They got free tools. Love it. I want to grow my own plants. I want to try like herbs and peppers. I wish I liked tomatoes. I might try them just because squash, carrots, radishes, things like that. I want to grow my own food. and be able to be like, oh my God, I homemade this bread and infused it with foods that I grew. I think that would be so incredibly cool. Speaking of farms, as the fruit seasons approach us, I do like for each fruit of the season to go visit a local farm and do some like you picking, which is like they just give you a bag and send you out to the orchard and they're like, good luck, grab whatever you want, and then we'll weigh it and you just pay. It's a great way to support locally and also just like get some really good fruit for really cheap. So I'll be doing that. Spring vibes are like beeswax candles and baby pink denim, dark denim. I love a good dark denim right now. Simply being outside and standing in a ray of sunshine for a little bit, especially after not getting it for so long. White linens, fresh flowers, local food. Spring also feels like crisp, nice, fresh sheets. Like, there's nothing better than crawling into bed with like a silk pair of pajamas on and like fresh sheets. Oh, it's so good. So maybe I'll just be changing my sheets more. Also, like ceramics, pottery. I want to get into working with my hands. I have this just like need to put my fingers in dirt recently. So, thus the local community garden. And also, I want to get back into pottery. I did pottery for quite some time. And you should look locally for what resources you have art wise, because there is a local art group and clay community where their memberships are really cheap. Their clay is really cheap. It's kind of like open studio hours, free glazing. They charge you just like based on square footage that it takes up in the kiln, which is nothing more than a couple cents each. Insane, incredible. And I do want to get there. I remember I was like in a deep depression when I was 22. I was going through it. Not good. And my dad was like, you're going to be taking this pottery class with me. Like, it's every Wednesday. You can show up every Wednesday for 2 hours. And I really do appreciate him seeing me in that way, where it's like, we don't got to talk about shit, because I know you can't put words into actual fruition and make sense of how you're feeling, but I can get you out of your head and into the real world doing something you enjoy. So I appreciate being seen that way, Dad. But I did pottery class for like 3 months, and then did some more just like on our own, and kind of fell out because life, you know how it is. I wasn't depressed anymore, which is good, success. But yeah, I kind of have that, not that I'm depressed, but I have that innate need in nature to kind of create, and I want to make some more bowls. I'm cooking so much. I want them on beautiful plates that I've made. I think that would be so cool. And per usual, every spring, to keep the whimsy and love for life alive, fairies, of course. Thus the fairy bong. Hello. Not me being like, it's me, girl. Those are triple D's. This is not you. It is the epitome of the smoke sesh fairy, though. I'm like, I set these fucking prices for a reason. I want my girls. I want to gather community. Like, come hang out, no matter the price range. Like, book recommendations for manifestation. So, I remember hearing, I talked about this in the last episode, but I remember hearing Dochi talk about how transformative the artist's way was for her, and how it really was able for, or helped her connect to her inner artist and that inner creative on a really like inspirational, I guess. I don't know. There is this like form you can enter as an artist, and it is kind of hard to get there, but when you do get there as an artist, where you are fully connected to your creative drive and inspiration and understanding, and then like it's an out of body experience. It is so beautiful to enter. I can only really categorize it in with the same kind of high you get, like a runner's high or like a workout high. If you're a gym rat girly, like, you know, like after you get a good pump in, it feels like you're levitating off the ground. Kind of also feels like you took Molly. You, as a creative sense, you can really enter into that dimension. And I think the reason that she's outputting so much good, like really well thought out, inspirational art right now is because she was able to connect to that. And I did hear her kind of give props to the artist way. And the artist way, if you really think about it, is just like one book on how to mass manifest, you know? It's giving you the tools and the skills you need to connect to your individual side, to your creative side, and to connect to the world around you, to be able to express yourself to the world around you without shame or without fear, just fully, openly as you are. And I think it is a challenge that I really need in my life this just coming months. It is a 12-week challenge, one that I started this morning. Yes, week 1 of the Artist Way. I'm very excited to see where it takes me and how I grow. I started this morning with like one of the big things for the Artist Way that you have to do daily is morning pages. And essentially, as soon as you wake up, like literally as soon as you enter REM sleep, you get up, you write down 3 pages of just like brain dump. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't read it back. You don't have anybody else read it. It does not fucking matter. You just brain dump 3 pages. And the reason that is so you can really get rid of what's in your head so you can truly enter your body and make space for what's necessary. Like, who cares what you complain about? It could be 3 pages of complaining. It could be 3 pages of sadness. It could be 3 pages of gratitude. Whatever you want to get off of your brain or whatever you're thinking about in that moment, 3 pages. So I did that this morning. It was fairly hard. It was hard. It was difficult, but with time it'll get easier, and I think it'll help me connect to myself. Then also another piece of homework weekly is you take yourself on an artist date. Just something that garners inspiration that you do alone, whether it is sitting down and creating art, going to the art museum, going to the thrift store, buying a vase, painting it, drawing it, decorating it, something where you're entering a creative zone alone for at least 2 to 3 hours. So I will be doing that this week. Maybe today. It's my day off. Fuck it. This also kind of feels like that. But yes, I'm excited to kind of get into the week 1 prompts and challenges. I will also be documenting this week by week on YouTube. I believe my YouTube is Smoke Sesh Shoddy. Yes, it is. Smoke Sesh Shoddy on YouTube, or you can look up Hannah Marlene, and I will be posting weekly recaps, hopefully on like the Monday that I restart the next week, or maybe Sunday, depending on what my posting schedule will be like. But I will be uploading the link to that on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. So if you want to follow my artist journey or do it along with me, come, let's challenge ourselves together. What's the point of this podcast if not just feeling less alone and feeling like we can kind of be on this journey together? So that will be my mass manifesting book for the next 12 weeks. How do you build discipline? No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to do it for you. The only person who can do it is you. The only person who can do it is you. The only person who can create it for you is you. The only person who can bring it to fruition is you. No one's going to come up here and save you. No one's going to put your hands to that paper. No one's going to make that meal for you. No one's going to hand you your dream career. No one's going to hand you the amount of money that you're desiring. No one's going to hand you that beautiful house in the Hamptons or whatever the fuck you dream of to you. You have to create it for yourself. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Truly, I think it was just like a understanding of I have this issue throughout life, especially as a teenager, where I was always deflecting. My parents would be like, you didn't turn in your homework for 3 weeks. And I'd be like, well, the teacher, didn't give me the paper soon enough. And then this thing happened. And it's like, at the end of the day, sure, but you didn't turn in your homework for 3 weeks. It was always deflection. It was always not taking accountability, not taking responsibility. And truly, you're never going to grow. You're never going to change. You're going to keep doing the same old that you're tired of if you have that mindset. No one's going to create it for you but you. No one's going to do it for you. Only person who can do it for you is yourself. Do you want it? You got to do it. I think the morning pages with the Artist Way is really going to help me kind of understand that, where it's like, maybe I don't want to wake up and write 3 pages, but that consistency and that understanding and also the positive payout will be transformative. And it is such a small thing to add to your daily routine to help snowball the discipline, to help snowball the commitment to self that is truly important for any sort of change or growth or challenge. So I'm very excited for that. But truly, once again, no one's going to do it for you. You are the only one who can create it. How bad do you want it? Just do it. Period. How fast is too fast to get into a relationship when you meet someone right? I'm not anti-moving like really fast, as long as you really see dating for what it is. First of all, let's get this correct. Dating has gotten completely warped by this like online discourse from what it truly is. Dating is not marriage. Dating's not marriage, babes. So many people are like, well, I don't want to date them because they think it's like a lifelong commitment. It's not. Dating is the trial period, not the situationship. Situationship, not normal, not a trial period. Dating is the trial period. So if you want to move fast, please move fast. Go for it. No need to be stuck in the situationship if you both want each other, okay? Please feed into that energy, but also understand the trial aspect of it all, where it's like, if it's not going well, you're not married, you can cut it off. You can leave. There should be learning and growing together. There should be appreciation and commitment, but once again, there's no ring on my finger, all right? I don't know why people have gotten it so warped. And if you want to move fast and get into a relationship and just figure it out along the way, I'm not against it. Give it a good couple months, okay? If you date them the first week, it's going to be like, that's a little wild. You know, figure out if you even like spending time with this person. But as soon as you start feeling that, oh my God, I'm enthralled, crush psychosis, like fuck it. Go for it. We have one life to live. Who cares if you date a million people? It's better than like being committed to somebody who's not committed to you. You know, figure it out along the way. But yes, feed into that energy, feed into that love. It's so nice, crush psychosis. It's like, wow, what a potent, like, insane energy. And if you can really funnel it into something positive, wow, it's amazing. So I don't think there's such thing as like too fast. Of course, get to know the person in front of you at least. But yes, I think this idea of like, well, we need to have been talking for a year before we start dating, I think that's crazy. I mean, if you want to go the friendship route, no hate. I know a lot of people, you know, are friends for a while and then decide they want to date normal. But if you feel like you're getting strung along and they don't want to commit to you, maybe that's not someone you should want to be around. Dating is the trial period. You guys can be committed and figure it out along the way before, and then get the ring and then solidify it. That's the normal thing. Opinions on porn / your partner watching it. Not a fan of porn industry in general. I mean, like, love women. If you want to work and make some money, no hate. It's mostly the men involved. You know, if I hate anything, it's usually the men involved. Duh. I am like pro OnlyFans in the sense where it's like, I feel like it's so much better than working for a company because you can kind of like, you know, women can feel safe on their own space and really garner a certain kind of content and do what they want to do without feeling pressured. Love that individualism. But when it comes to me and my partner, if you're watching porn, I don't want to know about it. I don't care as long as I don't know about it. I don't know about it in the sense where it's like you're doing it so much or ingesting it so much where it's becoming a problem. Where I, who am an aware person, am now becoming like extra aware of it because that's a hot mess. You don't need, you know, to be dating a sex addict in that sort of sense where it's like they have to be jerking off to porn 10 times a day. That's crazy. That's not healthy. That's not normal. That is not normal at all. And then when it comes to OnlyFans is very, very personal. So I feel like if my partner was buying OnlyFans, that would be, at least for me personally, in the relationship that like I want to have, that would be means for breakup. Everybody's relationship is different. Everybody's boundaries are different. But for me personally, no, you can't have an online relationship with a woman. That is basically what that is in my mind. Because I have friends who do OnlyFans, and a lot of like the way that they connect and bring customers in is through personal stuff, personal videos, communications, things like that. That I don't fuck with. I mean, I fuck with that for the girls. Get your money, get that sugar daddy for sure. But my man does not need to be involved. Does not. And once again, normal thing, I think. If you guys have different boundaries, like if you and your partner like watching it together or like getting kinky in that sort of way, fantastic. Wow, have so much fun. I don't think I could have fun that way, and that's okay. Just broke up with long-term relationship. How to reconstruct your individuality. Ooh, I've talked about this before, but I think a breakup bucket list is really nice. Not sure what kind of breakup you had, if it was like a really tumultuous, crazy one, you know, like drama, insane, exploding, yelling. I don't know. Breakups can be very different. It could be very like explosion, craziness, or it can kind of be like that, like dwindle out of a candle where it's like we're both mutually agreeing it's just not working. Either way, I think a breakup bucket list is really nice. Much easier to do if it was an explosion situation. Essentially, you just write down like 5 to 10 things you were not allowed to do in the relationship, or things that maybe you really wanted to do in the relationship but couldn't because the relationship was stopping you. When I was in a really unhealthy relationship, it'd be like, oh yeah, talk to any men at all in general, wear short skirts, like, wow, free yourself. But, you know, if it was healthy, maybe it's a little bit like easier than, oh, you know, I really wanted to do this, but maybe it wasn't negative. It was just like my relationship was getting in the way. Yeah, I didn't have enough time. Like I wanted to go to this concert, but we did it because he didn't like this music. Or I wanted to do this thing, but didn't because I was too involved with just spending time with him, which wasn't necessarily bad. It's just, you know, got in the way. Break up, bucket list, 5 to 10 things. Get your girls together, complete it. You will feel like you have discovered something, if not more, about yourself by the end of it. And I think it's really nice and kind of like a fun little silly thing to do to get your mind off of it and get your mind back on yourself. So whether you enjoy the things in the bucket list or not, or you're like, wow, wanted to do this, but also who cares? Either way, you will take something from it. You will feel like you have grown from the person you were in that relationship, and then also the time of the breakup. It also just kind of helps build that energy back up in yourself, whether it's energy of understanding, appreciation, just wanting to be alone in general, single in general. Building that energy so you can like power through the next steps and feel like a jump start into your next individuality, your next personality. It's really nice. Highly recommend, and pretty fun. If you can do it with friends, it makes it easier. How do you suggest a friends with benefits type situation? I don't think you suggest anything. I think you just keep the boundaries strong. And if you want to have a really good, solid friends with benefits situation, it truly is just those 11 p.m. texts and then getting them an Uber home. Like, please do a little TLC after sex, of course. Hello. But like, there is no going grocery shopping together. There is no spending 4 consecutive days together. There is no I love yous. Like, just date. At that point, please just date. I'm begging you. But if you're like, no, I truly just want this to be a physical relationship, nothing else, you gotta keep those boundaries in place where it's like, no, we're just having sex and then TLC and then you gots to go.
Hi Hannah, I'm from Malaysia. I love your pod. I've been listening since the last 4 years at least. Anyway, I need some advice or thoughts on my situation. I was dating this guy for like 6 months, and then it became long distance because he had to move for work, and apparently it's because he said he can't do this anymore, and it's because also he has commitment issues and the dismissive avoidant attachment style. And he's told me he still has feeling for me, but like he can't really do this, blah blah blah. And it's been 4 weeks since, and we still keep in contact. Like, we still send each other Instagram reels, we still have our snap streak on. And I told him I wanted to end it recently, but he doesn't really want to in some way. Like, I noticed he keeps snapping me first now, and a bit more engaging now because I think he can notice me removing my energy. But yeah, I want to cut contacts because I feel like I can't stay friends if I have feelings for you. But I also, right now, I've slowly detached, so I don't really care as much. But yeah, what do you think? Should I just continue like contacting him, or should I just tell him we should cut contacts? I like this guy, and I'm sure he still likes me, but he's breadcrumbing me low-key.
Okay, baddie. Hi. First of all, very much so giving like Maddie euphoria energy where it's like, I know what I want and I need, and honestly, I don't give a fuck about this man anymore because he's playing all these mind games, and bitch, I don't have time for it. I'm a baddie. Do you want me to or not? I feel like that's where you're finding yourself, which is a very good place to find yourself because it's better than getting dragged along through the mud. You definitely don't deserve that. I hate when men learn terms like emotional detachment because, like, truly you're just using that as an excuse to treat me shittily. Like, if you know what that term is, you should also know the steps that it takes to healing and not make it my fucking problem, you know? Yeah, he sounds very unhealed. It sounds like he wants you, but definitely doesn't want you. Like, he wants your time and energy without any commitment on his end. And anytime you pull away from a man like that, he's going to start getting scared and he is going to start messaging you more. It's going to return back to the same thing. As soon as he catches your attention again, he's going to get disinterested. And that's just not something you deserve. Obviously, you know this. This is not something you deserve, especially if it's long distance and he's not even in front of you. Like, what's the point? You're just giving up your emotional energy for no payoff. No payoff at all. Dump his ass. Tell him you don't deserve to be dragged along, and the way that he's treated you is horrible and awful, and cuss him out if it makes you feel better. Whatever you need to say. Get rid of him. Block him so he can't contact you anymore. And yeah, give it time. Give it space. You definitely deserve to, like, go out and have a hot girl spring summer. And if this man is constantly sending you texts and trying to distract you from the real world in front of you, it's going to be a waste emotionally and physically of your time, of your years. Find someone who wants to spend time with you, who wants to be with you, who won't put you on the back burner, who sees you for the baddie you are. That's what you need. How do you deal with having bad trips on weed? Oh, girl, I go to bed. I put my ass to sleep. Yup. Sometimes you can only outrun the demons a little bit. To be fair, when it comes to weed, less is more. Always. If you don't want to have a bad trip, less is more. But I do say a lot that anxiety is a side effect of weed. I don't think you can consume weed without getting at least just a slight tinge of anxiety. It's very normal. It's a side effect. Nothing is going wrong with you. It's just your brain is being affected by a drug, and naturally that triggers a fight or flight reflex because you're not in a normal state. Nothing to do with you. It is what it is. It's a side effect. I think if you can give it, depending on what you consume, I've been doing a lot of edibles while I've been sick, but if you're smoking, it's pretty instant. And if you can give it like 10 to 20 minutes, it usually goes away immediately. Edibles are a little different. I find that the anxiety lasts a little bit longer and it has that like slow roller coaster effect, which is not super fun always, and why I usually do have a harder time with edibles. But if you can give it time, it goes away. A great way to avoid this is to distract yourself. Coloring book, drawing, good TV show, something to get your mind off of it. Great way to run away from the demons healthily. And if you can't run, I've been to the point where it's like, okay, I'm literally paralyzed by this fucking weed. Put your ass to sleep. Try and go to bed. You'll probably knock out, I guarantee it. But I remember when I ate a whole pan of brownies, it was like, girl, I can't stand. My only other option is to go lie in this bed and hopefully my brain will go to sleep. Sleep it off, you know? How did you get out of your bad mental illness years? I love you, baby fairy. Oh, I love you. Honestly, help. Help. And I can say that now because I realized how much like community gathered around me and how much it genuinely really helped my situation. And help doesn't also necessarily mean like maybe interpersonal relationships. If it is interpersonal relationships, that's fantastic, but also like professional. Like I went to the ward. It was not safe for me to be around myself, so I took that hard step. I got help. They thought that this was the best option for me, and ultimately at the time it probably was. That therapy, medicine, getting professional help, that was probably the bravest thing that I've ever done in my entire life, where it was kind of like I feel like I'm floating and I have no connect on myself and I have no control over myself, and that's a very, very scary feeling. So I need to place my trust with myself into somebody else, and that is a very terrifying thing to do, but it is such a brave thing to do. And ultimately it was my biggest payoff from that situation, having help around me, friends understanding my situation and being like, well, fuck it, we're just gonna try and make her laugh, like we're just gonna try and be good friends, we're gonna try and be there for her, you know, in any way possible, distract herself. That was getting help that way. That was so amazing and so transformative. And also just like not giving up on myself, you know. You are here, you are amazing, you are wonderful, you are beautiful, whether you believe it or not. You deserve all the help you need and you deserve all the support you need, and that also does come from yourself. I understand being in a place where it's like I don't have any energy to help myself, and that's okay. That's when other people come in, and that's fantastic. But if you do, and if you can keep that belief of self and desire for good for yourself there, it helps the process a little bit. It makes asking for help a little bit easier. It makes doing the hard things a little bit easier. The light at the end of the tunnel of it all. You know what I mean? If you can just see that glimmer, whether you can understand it or not, as long as you can see it, it does make going through hardships easier. If anybody should be nice and understanding to you, it should be you. But I also understand how crazy the brain can get and the depression splitting of it all, where it's like you lose yourself a lot. I think there are people out there who do want to help you, who are there to help you, and who do want to see you succeed. Find those people, ask for help, be brave, show up for yourself. By getting the help you deserve, it is transformative for sure. How to be sillier and more fun, focused, and centered. Illy, love you. Ooh, play. We got to engage in play more often, you know. Life can get crazy. We can get, listen, adulthood is wild because I feel like you think entering adulthood will be like this newfound freedom, and it is. It's a different sense of freedom. It's a freedom you've never experienced before, at least like outside of schooling and stuff. Yes, but there's also 10 times the amount of responsibilities. Like if you're in college right now and you're like, I want to drop out because life's just going to be so much easier, I'm tired of doing assignments. I would rather be doing assignments than paying my health insurance. I would rather be writing that 10-page essay than going to work. I would rather. Grass is always greener. You know what I mean? So if you're there, see it through. Absolutely. But adulthood is definitely a lot of seriousness, and seriousness, unfortunately, that you do have to take seriously. Like I'm a very unserious bitch, but also it's like taxes, paying rent. These are things you do need to take seriously. Credit score, like I don't want to think about it, but like if we're gonna play the game of life, you gotta think about it. You gotta play well. Now to balance that, so it's not just like too much serious and you're way down, you gotta have play. You gotta play. You gotta enjoy whimsy and nature and fun, inner childness. Where is that whimsy? Where did it go? Let's bring it back. Oddly enough, my boyfriend introduced me to play a lot because he skates. Like, this bitch is constantly playing. And I was like, oh my God, wait, I'm not doing any of that. And I'm high-key kind of jealous. I'm like, okay, you can go out there and play around on your skateboard for like 5 hours and truly indulge and play and have a good time and, you know, giggle with your friends and like escape reality in that sort of way. I'm jealous. I need to bring more of that into my life. And best believe, as soon as I started creating more art, getting into random hobbies, seeing them through, engaging in play, having fun, forgetting about life, entering that other zone where it truly is about having fun, whether it's like going on a walk, getting outside, anything that calls to you, that's important. You should see that through. Wow, life's better. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, oh my God, all of a sudden life's better? And I think that's why my parents do a lot of hard things, like a lot of hard things that the average individual doesn't do, such as just like helping people, showing up for people, doing hard work, community work. It's incredible. It's really inspiring. And the reason that they're able to continue that energy and have that energy to put into other people is because they're also engaging in their own hobbies when they have the time. My dad's like, no, I have to go to the gym for 2 hours or else I'm going to go fucking insane. That's his play. That's how he has fun. That's how he escapes the world. That's how he gets his dose of dopamine, you know, engage in whimsy, joy, working on cars. Oh my gosh, that's his creative outlet. You know, he can forget about the world, forget about work, whatever craziness is going on, go, I don't know, change oil. Girl, I'm just a girl, okay? My mom, yoga. She's like, I have to go to yoga at least once or twice a week, seeing her friends, having that creative outlet. You have to have balance. And the fun thing about being a new adult is it's going to be harder to find that balance because you're kind of a little unsure of yourself. You're still trial and erroring things. So don't be afraid to trial and error, basically. Like, try new things out. If it doesn't inspire you, that's okay. Pivot, try something new. But as long as you're engaging in play and seriousness equally, I do think it really does bring back that whimsy, fun, silliness that life should be. Tips for teen angst, please. I'm going crazy. Oh my God. Not me being like the most depressed I've ever been and I'm like, oh, I miss it. Listen, I was so angsty for no reason. I mean, not no reason. I was going like actually insane, but like also the world does not hate you that much. Trust. No one's thinking about you that much. The world is not out to get you. There is hope in your future. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. It's not. It really isn't. Anything you experience in high school is going to be a blip on the radar. Anything you experience in your teen years, very much so, blip on the radar. Good things are coming. I wish I could look at 17, 15, 13-year-old Hannah who was like, wow, there's no other option. Like, I have to die. Girl, no. There are things that are going to happen in your future that you could never possibly think of, and they are a million times more beautiful and cool than you ever could have imagined. All you gotta do is see it through. Really, truly. All you gotta do is see it through. If you're gonna have the teen angst, at least turn it into some art. Turn it into passion. Whenever it comes to overwhelming feelings of joy, of sadness, crush psychosis, anger, angst, whatever it is, if you can take that and put it into somewhere where it translates your emotions and you can feel a little bit like a weight lifted off your shoulders, very important. Okay. When it was me at 17, it was art. Okay. I would go, oh, I'm going to paint a black canvas and like red and abstract and hit it and spray paint because, I'm so angry. And it's like, that's how I was feeling, truly. And like having that outlet was really nice. As corny as it is, it was very important for me to have so it wasn't so overwhelming inside my brain. Truly not that serious. Life is a million times more magical than you ever could genuinely imagine. So see it through, hang on, light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my God, theme of the day here. And if you can take that energy and put it into something, you will be able to create something amazing.
Hannah, hi, I love you. I'm 2 seconds from subscribing to your Patreon because I'm just obsessed with you and I need this question answered because fuck. And there's so many parts to it. There's so many layers, because I know it's going to sound bad from the beginning when I say I have a crush on somebody that I work with. Okay, bear with me here. They're looking for another job. We work in an office. We don't work together, but we do work together on some things. We work for the city. It's like environmental things, and like they have a separate...
Okay, pause. Okay, Parks and Rec. Not you guys working for the city together. Okay, continue.
Little job. Like, I'm an intern. I'm part-time, and they are a full-time person. They are 26 an hour. Nope. I'm sorry. I'm trying to speed run this. They are 26 years old. I'm 22 years old. I have the biggest crush on them. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, the gayest little shit. Like, I have not felt like this since high school. I'm a fucking gay bitch. And... they are just, oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to pause you because I think I have the answer for you. Listen, I think you definitely have crush psychosis. Like, you have a crush on the person. Is it reciprocated? I'm not sure from this voice message. Sorry if I cut you off too early. Listen, if you're coworkers and you have a little crush, cool, fantastic. Don't let it get in the way of your money, as in like don't forget that like you're there to do a job. If it helps you get through the work day and you have your little crush that you show up to work and have, like, amazing, super fun, super sexy. But do I think you should start actively pursuing somebody when you are working on projects together? No, it's going to get messy. It's going to get difficult. Imagine they don't reciprocate it, or imagine you guys break up and then it's like, well, hey, deadline for this project is in 2 days. Now you got to spend 8 hours together and try and figure this shit out. Hot mess. But if this is something new and you're starting to get little flirty energies, like, let it slow burn, okay? Take your time. I'm sure they'll find another job. Then you can start hanging outside of work for funsies, start speaking to each other outside of work a little bit, flirting a little bit more in that sort of way, maybe going on dates. But the slow burn is what's driving you insane, and insane in a good way. That's what really fuels that crush psychosis of like, wow, I'm obsessed, in like a really fun, exciting way. Enjoy the slow burn, girl. You know, don't skip to page 150 when you're on page 2. One page at a time. I'm not against dating coworkers. Like, I know it sounds like I have all these harsh rules. I just think it gets way messier than people expect. Emotions involved in the workplace, involved in your money, is never a good idea. But if you're smart about it and you take your time and it's reciprocated in a healthy way, then honestly, I think it can be nothing but great. So enjoy. And yeah, with the way you framed it, give it time. I think you will see something come out of it sooner than later. Experiences dating / seeing women. Smoke / lesbians would love the rep. Hi, my smoke / lesbians. Love you. I have no experience dating women at all. I would date a woman if it is in my future at any point in time, sure. I mean, like, I'm in a pretty committed relationship that I don't plan on leaving, but like, am I against dating women? No, definitely bisexual. But no, I haven't dated any women. I think I've had the I feel like everybody who likes women has this experience where it's like, oh my god, I'm falling in love with my best friend, and we're kind of like in love but won't say anything, and it's weird sexual tension. Had that definitely in high school, but other than that, really have not had much experiences. But love my lesbians. Shout out to you. Getting my nips pierced next week. Just turned 18. Any tips and advice, Illy? So I can't, honestly, I forget I have nipple rings all the time, but I got mine freshly 18 as well. It was, okay, I was talking to my friend about this. This is crazy. In college, there was this piercing shop right next to my college, and I went to a Catholic college, so best believe everybody was in that tattoo and piercing shop. It was like, we're rebelling, we're gonna go get a dumb tattoo or a piercing. I wanted my nipples pierced. All right, so they had a buy one get one for $50 nipple piercing, where they would pierce both your nipples for $50. I have never seen those prices anywhere else. One of mine is a little crooked because of that, so keep that in mind. Cheaper is not always better. But I got my nipples pierced at 18, and as a committee member of the itty bitty titty committee, not so much anymore because second puberty, but I mean, back in the day, yes. They really elevated my confidence with my nipples and just with my boobs in general. Jewelry always does that. You know, if you can accentuate and, you know, adorn something that maybe you're not a huge fan of, really, really helps with the whole process of it all. So yeah, I got my nipples pierced freshman year of college at 18. I got them both done at the same time, which I also highly recommend if you are doing both. The thing is, I will give you a warning. You will get the first one done. You won't feel anything, but all of the adrenaline you have wears off after the first one. And then the second one, you have no adrenaline to cover the pain. I remember the pain being sharp and a lot, but not so much where it was like continuous after the initial piercing. The piercing itself hurts. Anything after that, you're pretty much chilling. They are going to be sore for quite some time. I do think nipple rings take at least 2 years to fully heal. It took me 2 years to stop seeing like little crusties on them. Once I stopped seeing those, I was like, okay, they're fully healed. But now that they're fully healed, I don't even think about them. They are there. They're cute. They're basically a part of me at this point in time. I have no desire to take them out at any point in time. They're gold bars. They're so cute. I'm a gold jewelry girl. Of course, there's so many cute jewelry pieces out there that you can get. And like, you know, it's always a fun surprise, especially if you're like out there dating. Like, coming into contact with nipple rings is like, oh my God. Ah! Oh my God. Fun surprise. Hot, sexy, amazing. But yes, keep them clean. Listen to your piercer's rules. Cheaper's not always better. They do hurt. Any piercing's going to hurt. No, I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, putting a needle through your skin is going to hurt. Duh. But is it the worst pain in the world? No. I found that it was just that initial sharp stabbing. Duh. And that was it. Healing can be pretty frustrating. So remember to take care of them. Careful drying off your body, and yeah, be patient. But for confidence, really, really up my confidence with my titties, because I felt like they were a little small. So like, I wasn't like, yeah, let me show my tits, but like, now that they're pierced, it's like, no, let me show my tits. You know what I mean? Spring cleaning tips, life space routine. This is a great question, honestly. I found myself in a deep cleaning spiral the other day. It was like I had been sick for 2 weeks. There were trash bags full of tissues all around my house. It was insane. It was a hot mess. Like, I needed to clean. So I woke up a little bit earlier than I usually do one morning because my boyfriend was going to work. I woke up at like 7:30. I had been up till 2:30 a.m. the night before because I had worked, and it's hard for me to shut my brain off after work. So I was basically running on no sleep, but I knew my two options were A, I sit here and I'm miserably exhausted, or B, I get the fuck up and I distract myself and I just start deep cleaning and make myself feel a little bit accomplished. Like, do I suffer, or maybe do I suffer in a different way? And I chose to deep clean, and honestly felt so nice. I mean, I burn out pretty quickly, but I was able to get quite a bit done. So I deep clean everything. I'm talking mop, dust mop, vacuum. I'm vacuuming the fucking ceilings. Like, I'm getting rid of shit, okay? I'm going through my closet, what fits, what doesn't. I don't care if I fit into these in 8th grade. If I don't fit into them now, get rid of them. There's no reason for you to hang on to it. If it's not something that you wear at least once a week, probably not worth having in your closet. I did differentiate between like the things that I want to pass down, the archival pieces, my vintage Dior, my vintage handbags, anything that's like, wow, one of a kind, truly artisanal pieces, or things that maybe I wore a lot that have a space in my heart that I would love to see my niece or my nephew or my kids wear eventually. I have a giant trunk, and in that trunk is where I keep those things. Those are my special area. Anything outside of that, if I'm not wearing it weekly, you gotta get rid of it. There is no point. Like, the hoarder mentality is so bad and so real. You gotta cleanse and declutter every once in a while. I very much so thought I was a maximalist for a long time. I'm not a maximalist. I am a clean girl to my core, and too much stuff around me does trigger my anxiety. So knowing that, addressing that, and then taking the steps forward to declutter and cleanse everything, really necessary. I have this like need in my heart to move, and I think it's just because I want to throw everything away. Not like gonna throw it all away and buy new things. It's just like I have too many things and I need to cut it all down, and moving really helps with that. Moving helps you kind of clear out that random drawer that you have that you haven't looked in 2 years that has just like the most randomest shit ever. You know, pens and McDonald's toys and ketchup packets and paintbrushes and books and trash and bills. You're like, what the fuck is going on? I love moving because it's like, okay, throw everything away. But listen, in this economy, my rent, happy with it. We're not moving anytime soon. Let's go ahead and just pretend we are and get rid of everything. So also, if you want to shop my closet, I uploaded everything on Depop. There is nothing there's one item over $30. Everything else is honestly $20 or lower. If you make me an offer, I probably will accept it as long as I see it and I'm active. But I just uploaded like 59 new pieces. The only expensive thing on there is this pair of vintage designer Miss Me jeans. You're like, designer Miss Me? No, they're like hand embroidered, really cool Miss Me jeans. Those are like $45. I'm so sorry. I know. I'll probably drop the price. Everything else, literally $20 or less. So if you want to shop my closet, go check it out. I would rather have these pieces go to like a loving home than, I don't know, anywhere else, like someone that desires it. Everything else, like if it is up for more than a month, I'll probably just donate it. I love just donating my clothes, especially as someone who has an attachment to my clothes. Knowing that they're going somewhere that someone else will be able to discover them, find them, and enjoy them brings me that sort of peace that I really do need in my brain to detach. So yeah, spring cleaning tips, get rid of that shit. You don't need it. Make sure you are cleaning every inch of your home so you can enter your home with a new, refound sense of freshness. It is so nice. Like I said, spring is very much clean, crisp sheet energy. That's what we're trying to bring into our home. And then every spring equinox, I like to do a simmer pot. I think it's a great way to bring in good energy spiritually. You can implement many different herbs that inspire you. I usually like to do fresh lemon, oranges, cinnamon sticks, bay leaves. On the bay leaves, you can write affirmations or manifestations onto them. Sugar, a little bit of sea salt. I boil all of this in a pot all day. I'll keep adding water through the day, and it is a great way to just energetically cleanse your space and have it smelling beautiful. But yeah, no, there's something about like the newfound brightness and energy outside that makes me really want to bring it into my home as well. And it's like me standing on top of my counters, cleaning the top of my cabinets, getting in the back of my cabinets, throwing shit out, disinfecting everything. It's insane. I don't know what's gotten in my brain, obviously the spring energy, but divide and conquer, okay? One room at a time, one area at a time. There's only so much you can get done in a day. Be patient with yourself. It is so worth it. A good clean is so refreshing. Anyways, with that being said, I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of like an extra long episode. I felt since I was gone last week, I would provide a little bit more for my girlies. If there's one thing I'm going to do for you, it's provide. Please, if you want to support, if you want a beautiful piece, if you've been looking for your first ever beginner piece, this beautiful bong will be available March 21st, Friday, March 21st, the day after the spring equinox, 12 p.m. EST. Please, it'll be available in pink iridescent as well as this beautiful green teal iridescent. You'll be able to support women-owned businesses through it. It's amazing. I'm so proud of this, and I hope you guys truly do enjoy. But yeah, also if you want to stay tuned with my Artist's Way series, I will be posting, my week 1 recap at the end of this week, either Sunday, Monday on my YouTube at Smoke Says Shoddy. You can find me there. If you want an extra episode every week, if you have a question that you need answered, I answer every single question on the Patreon episode that you guys submit. Once again, please save your 30%, patreon.com/Smoke Says Shoddy. Sign up there. You can even pay through Apple Pay there. It will be the prices that I set. It will be cheaper than you downloading the app and doing it there. After you buy it there, then download the app, then log in. Please. I'm like, I want to save your money where you can. But also, I want to see your beautiful faces and hang out with you. So come join the Patreon. But with that being said, I love you all so very much. Just stay tuned on what I'm doing and just submit your question every week. Follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. You can DM me your question there. All the voice memos you heard were from voice note DMs in my Instagram. And I upload the questionnaire every Sunday. But with that being said, love you all so much. Stay sexy, stay sane, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!